Hello, everybody. This is Yoko's Anime Reactions, and I hope you guys are all doing well. And it's been actually really nice out today. I would have actually gone outside, but I was busy finishing up Seven Mortal Sins, and yeah, I didn't have time. And I won't have a whole lot of time to do that stuff on tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. Because between those 3 days, I am going to finish a few shows. I'm going to finish, hopefully, The Familiar of Zero. I'm going to hopefully finish JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm hopefully going to finish. Get caught up on I'm a Spider, So What, and maybe finish Dances with Devils. So, there'll be a few shows that I will be getting caught up on and or finishing. And if I can get some stuff taken care of next week, actually, I should have looked at my schedule before I even started recording, but I didn't think I was going to have to do it. Let's see. Oh, God. Never mind. I was thinking that I was going to have to close on Tuesday and then go straight into the morning shift, but no, that's Saturday, not Friday. Or not Wednesday. No, yeah, I should be good Monday. Might be able to get something done on Wednesday, maybe, or at least get some videos uploaded. Thursday, I should be able to upload, and same for Friday. So between all these days, I should be able to get maybe a couple more shows done. Maybe Fruits Basket, maybe And You Thought That Was Never Girl Online. Maybe get caught up a little bit on some other shows as well. Maybe like Hunter x Hunter or Monster Rancher or something. But if you hear anything in the background, my mom is in there watching The Incredible Hulk on TV. And actually, I need to ask Travis this if he knows of a TV show featuring the Incredible Hulk that used to air when she was growing up. And she's about she's old. I'm not gonna say how old, but she is a grandmother, just to put it that way. So yeah, this is going to be my review for In Another World of My Smartphone episodes 4, 5, and 6. So I will be halfway done and uploading for the show. Anyway, let me see. There's a lot to cover in this episode. I will say this. Out of all the spells that Toya can use, my favorite is Slip. Because it is hilarious, and it actually is good for crowd control. All he has to do is use Slip on a large group of people, and boom, they all fall over. I love it. It's good for taking out enemies, too, like that. Because they go down, they take the enemy down. While they're down, I mean. Okay, Jackson just got here on the bus. Okay. Anyway. He goes to visit the Duke because they wanted to talk to him, and apparently they need his help with something after he had healed the Duke's wife of her blindness. Apparently his brother is also fallen ill, and they don't expect him to make a recovery, but they want him to try, essentially. And so they head over there. And there's a guy there who's the Count. And I just love the fact that it fits his character so well that he is Ainz from Overlord. I swear that is his voice actor because I hear it, I'm like, oh, there's Ainz. And it fits considering what he does. And apparently the king had been poisoned during a dinner. And they're blaming the shoot, what did they call them? The beast lady that was there looked like a fox lady, I guess. Olga. Anyway, they're blaming her because she was the one who brought the wine. And after Toya was able to heal him with, the same spell he used on the Duke's wife, uh, he starts to try and figure out what had happened in the first place. And after searching the room that was left untouched, after the incident, he figures out what happened. And he kind of sets up a little scheme and has the general drink wine poison-free from the glass that had been the king's glass, and the general was fine. They decide to recreate the scene with that same glass with the count, because they had they had everybody there that was in attendance. And like I said, the count has been blaming Olga the entire time for this whole thing. And he obviously shows his true colors because he's like really skeptical about this, even though Toya claimed that the wine was poison free. And Toya was like, "Oh, what's the matter? I told you the wine was poison free. How am I supposed to poison the wine after it's left the bottle?" And I think he drinks it and he acts like he's been poisoned. Anyway. I am sleepy. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, we find out that it was the Count who was responsible for the poisoning, and it turns out the poison was not in the wine, it was in the glass itself. And obviously he had washed the glass out before he had done that little stunt, so. And the Count tries to run away. He uses slip on him, which I just absolutely love. Anyway, later, we find out that the king's daughter, Umina? I think that's how you pronounce it. If I'm butchering any names, let me know. She declares that she wants Toya as her husband. And I'm like, you just met the guy not even a day ago. Why are you doing that? And because I know that in a show like this, a harem is bound to happen, and there are going to be the girls that fall in love with the main character, but I say that's too quick. That reaches the point of ridiculousness, essentially. Because, I know there's love at first sight, but that's still too early for that. And the king is just going with the flow and really is supporting this, and I'm like, doesn't he get a say too? He's the one who would have to marry her, and Toya actually does state this, and we find out that Umina's got mystic eyes, which allows her to see somebody's true character. So her judge of his character is actually dead on. So it's not like but still, the idea of her falling in love with him that quickly, even knowing his true character, is still ridiculous, in my opinion, at least for that early on. Now, if it had been a month, at least, since she met him, and then she pulls that, then that'd be a little bit more acceptable, though not by much. Because falling in love usually takes a lot more time than that, to get to know the person and everything. Thankfully, Toya uses his head and says that men in his country cannot get married until they are adults, so he cannot do that until he turns 18. So he has a little over 2 years to get to know her and for her to try to win him over. And we find out that he's actually 12. I'm like, a 12-year-old? Really? You're pulling that card? Because by the time that 2 years is up, she will be 14, and that's not much of a difference in my opinion. Anyway, so yeah, she ends up going with him and joining up with the group, and we find out that she is actually a very capable archer and mage. So we have 2 ranged people and 3 frontline attackers, which is a good combination in my opinion. So, hold on a second. Sorry, I had to shut the door because I didn't want you guys hearing the stuff on the other end over there. Because my nephews were talking, and I don't want anything involving the whole Copa thing popping up and disabling my comments, because I've had that happen before. And I'd rather not have to do that, and I'd rather not have to edit this video to edit that out. I don't even know how I would edit that out, to be honest. Anyway, obviously the others are skeptical about all this. Like, you've been gone for not even a day, and you come back engaged. And I'm like, yeah, he's not very happy with this too. Dang it, come on, stupid thing. There we go. Dang, what the heck? Not much of a... Never mind. I thought this was the cord I was messing with. I thought it was this one. It was not. Anyway... what else happens in this episode? Or this video, I can't even remember, I just checked the video. Oh yeah, the slime thing. That mission they've been avoiding this entire time, the one involving the slimes, they finally pick it up. And so far, I did not really peg Toya as a pervert, to be completely honest. But the way he's talking in this episode kind of makes me think he is a low-key one, at least. Because, I mean, I know he's a guy, and guys have, urges and all that, but like I said, up until this point, we had never pegged him down as to be a deviant, essentially. And... oh, I almost, forgot. Last episode, we find out that Umina can use summoning... Yumina, I think is how you say it. Yumina can use summoning spells if she teaches Toya how to use one. He ends up summoning the White Monarch, which is probably one of the... I guess either a legendary summon or something like that, essentially, to where nobody should have been able to do that, essentially. And I think the funny thing is that, dang it, did he use Slip on him? Because he had to prove that he was worthy of being, his master, and I think he used Slip. I know he uses Slip later for another summons. I don't know, I'd have to go back and relook at that footage, but he does do something, and the White Monarch thinks of him as worthy. So they end up forming a contract. And the funny thing is that because of this, the White Monarch is a freaking white tiger, essentially. And to make it easier for Toya and the others, he gives them a name of Kohaku, but he also takes a little kitty form to make it easier for them to go around without him being in his freaking big form, since he has to be. And his kitty form is so adorable. Anyway, they head inside the derelict castle that the mission is said to be at, and they're supposed to essentially get rid of the slimes that are inside. And apparently there was someone in there using magic to create a bunch of slimes, and that's why there's so many. Well, obviously the guy in question is dead, either due to lack of food or due to the slimes turning on him. I don't know which. But they do encounter the slimes that melt clothes, and Toya's kind of freaking out a little bit. Trying not to look at them, yet looking at them at the same time. You know how anime guys do that, but thankfully they're able to get to the research lab, and we find out that the guy was trying to do was create, and we know this guy's a pervert because he was trying to create a harem of naked slime ladies. Picture that in your head. That is what he was trying to create. And he managed to apparently do it before he died. But they end up burning down the castle anyway. Kill it with fire, essentially. So that was that episode. Next episode is they were asked to accompany the Yumina and the others to shoot. What was the place? The land where all the beast people are, because the kings want to be able to meet, but they kind of can't if you haven't been. If Toya hasn't been to a place, he can't use the portal magic, the teleport or whatever the heck it is, to get the king there. Because he hasn't been there before. He has to be someplace he's gone to, just like kind of like Finral's magic from Black Clover. He has to be able to know. He has to have been to a place in order to use his portal magic to go there. So they head there. While they're resting, while they're in town, they find one of the knights. Apparently has an infatuation with one of the beast ladies, which is Olga's older sister. And it turns out that Toya is oblivious to his own romantic feelings, but not oblivious to others, because he picks up right away that this guy is interested in Olga's sister, and he helps him out. So, yeah. And we find out that what was her name? The sister with the short hair. We find out she gets motion sickness, essentially. No, not motion sickness, seasickness. Sorry, there's a difference. And later, while they're camping, I think this is before the dragon shows up, they almost get jumped by a large group of bandits, but thankfully Toya's phone, he's able to use, to pinpoint them on the phone, all the enemies around them, and then use his spells multiplied and pinpoint on them and then fire and take them all out at once, which I thought was amazing. And then the dragon shows up. And it turns out it's a dragon that just wants to cause problems just because it can. So essentially it's like a spoiled brat because they try and stop it and it says they're ruining his fun. And thankfully they were actually able to take it out. And the funny thing is that I found it funny that Toya used slip on it and it fell over. Oh my god, seriously, man. And then the head dragon, what was it? The Red Monarch? Whatever the heck it was called. Anyway, it showed up and apologized for its brethren's idiocy, essentially, and Toya asked him to please talk to the younger dragon so that this doesn't happen again, essentially. And thankfully, the dragon is respectful and does promise to do that and leaves. So, next episodes will be next video, so y'all are gonna have to wait until then. If you haven't subscribed already, feel free to, because there are gonna be a lot more shows coming your way as I finish them. And I'll see you guys next time.